Good evening and welcome to the graduation exercises for the class of 2022. It is now my pleasure to introduce our faculty and staff, and please help me welcome them as they make their way to the bleachers to our right. Please stand for the processional while our seniors enter the field area, and remain standing, please, during the Pledge of Allegiance. will now ask Adibola Ototola and Peter Preston to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and following this, our brass choir will perform the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Seniors, please remain standing. All other guests, please be seated. I will now ask Rhea Sandler and AJ Miles, members of the junior class who have been selected by the seniors, to please seat the class of 2022. Good evening and welcome to our LHS families and guests, all school committee members, and specifically the ones present tonight: Kevin Shea, Gianna Allentuck, Nicole Schwinn-Ware, Mary Keene, Gianna Allentuck, Superintendent O'Shea, Assistant Superintendents Bertrand and Mazza, Pupil Services Director Jean Fontaine, town officials, and certainly to our graduates from the class of 2022. It is my honor to welcome you to these graduation ceremonies. I'm fortunate to lead the faculty and staff, and I'm fortunate to be able to represent such a fine school district and community. At this time, I want to acknowledge the members of the faculty and staff who are here tonight sitting with us in the bleachers. Thank you for all you have done with these students over the past 4 years, and thank you to the countless LPS staff members who have supported these students over several years. It has been another all-hands-on-deck kind of school year, and I thank the faculty and staff for their amazing professionalism, resilience, and flexibility. I want to individually recognize 5 employees who are retiring either at the end of next week or at the end of this month, representing approximately 150 years worth of educational service. Social studies teacher Mary Ellen Dillon, mathematics teacher Carol Daigle, Administrative Assistant Karen Omardian, Special Education Supervisor Jennifer Lynch, and Assistant Principal Mr. Paul Dunkerley. Thank you for your years of work and service to the students, families, and employees of the Longmeadow Public Schools. I also want to thank the many friends and partners who have helped us with this event and with other senior activities over the past few weeks. Thank you to the town of Longmeadow as a whole for so many things and so much help over the past year involving your help and partnership. LCTV for partnering with us to record and live stream this event. Longmeadow DPW, especially Scott LaValle and John Duke for their painting and decoration around campus in honor of our seniors. Longmeadow Police Department and Longmeadow Fire Department for their continued partnership and help on numerous logistical and safety fronts.
the LHS PAC and Sojung Haig and Kristen Seeley in particular for the help with so many efforts on behalf of this class. The LHS art and music programs for their work on the LHS yearbook and for the beautiful music we will hear here tonight. Thank you to our class advisors, Mrs. Jessica Moore and Mr. John Pantusco, for their tireless work and dedication to this class over the past 4 years. And finally, to our custodians, Mr. Lehman, Mr. Hunley, Mr. Danos, Mr. Ameti, Mr. Crow, Mr. Murphy, and to our administrative assistants and office staff, Mrs. Omardian, Mrs. Marino, Mrs. Adkins, Mrs. Soskovic, Mrs. Jablonski, and in particular, Mrs. Vicki McDonald, for their behind-the-scenes logistical work to ensure that this event comes together. Thank you to everyone I mentioned for all your help. I also want to acknowledge the important role of parents and guardians and the love, guidance, and foundation that you have provided these graduates. I use the word love tonight as a verb because it entails countless hours of caring, feeding, clothing, protecting, worrying about, disciplining, educating, supporting, and advocating, all of that you have done for these young men and women. For these reasons and because of your work, when the students arrived at our doors, they were ready to learn and to engage. We strive to create a school and culture at Longmeadow High School that is engaging, respectful, inclusive, challenging, and dynamic, and our students, your children, are inherent to the success of these efforts. So thank you for sending us these impressive young individuals. Most of what we will hear here tonight will be from the students, whether it's speeches or musical performances. However, as principal, I'm given the chance to share some parting thoughts and words to these graduates prior to them walking out of the gates of this field as new alumni. With that, I offer some heartfelt and genuine thoughts. The faculty and staff of LHS will miss this class. We not only respect you, we really like you, and we have enjoyed your company. I have heard countless comments from staff about how many students in this class hold a special place in their hearts and how, as a class, they really love you. You stand out as intelligent, creative, talented, kind, strong, resilient young people. And in the craziness of the past few years, you have been a bright spot. Thank you for all that you've done for LHS to make it a better school and community. You are also a class that has been put through many challenges, both over the last 4 years and over the past few weeks. In addition to having your worlds turned upside down due to a pandemic and the normal ups and downs of adolescence and high school, you have lost 2 fellow classmates, and you have been forced to deal with very sad adult realities while you, in many ways, are still children. The loss of both Jake Pauzet and Katerina Boskovic must be acknowledged here tonight because they are members of this class, and their loss has profoundly affected many of you. I can't tell you that the feelings of loss will go away, but I can tell you that the best way to honor them is to carry forward the qualities in them that resonated most with you. Allow their essence to help you be better versions of yourself. When you do this with people you have loved and lost, they live within us. Jake's and Katerina's loss is a reminder about the fragility of life and all that we love and care about. What you have experienced together here will bind you forever in this rite of passage. You will forever be LHS Lancers, wherever you go in life and whatever you do. We hope that we have prepared you for the next phase of life, and we hope that you carry the lessons, foundations, and values into the worlds into which you will travel. Secondly, we continue to live in some crazy and historic times. It's a time of change, as so many years and decades of U.S. history have been. My hope for you is that you call people into conversations rather than call people out. Seek to understand the humanity of all rather than seeking to dehumanize others that we don't agree with. Most people are good, even if we don't see eye to eye with them. As I usually say, dialogues are more productive than monologues, so be intentional about both speaking and listening to those that you agree and disagree with. People are much more prone to listen to you if you share your thoughts respectfully and with some humility. Be engaging in real discussion. By engaging in real discussion, you may even realize that you have more in common with others than first thought. Be the facilitators of discussion and the informed, level-headed people that this country needs at this time in our history. And thirdly, as LHS looms in the background of this ceremony, I ask you to keep building on the many skills, competencies, and dispositions that we have worked purposefully to instill in the learning activities that you have engaged in. Critical thinking, communicating, problem solving, working collaboratively with others, and building on your independence and accountability. You're only going to become stronger, better, and more confident versions of yourselves as you grow and expand your world. In addition to your skill sets, I ask that you remember the overarching takeaways and wisdom from the many subjects you have studied and learned about here. From history and English language arts, remember that situations are complex and intersecting. Reject dogmas, hyperbole, and rhetoric that oversimplify complex issues. From the world languages, that the world is large, nuanced, diverse, and beautiful. From music and art, that you are talented and creative beings and that music and art evoke some of the most powerful emotions people can have. From health and wellness, that taking care of yourself and others is a lifelong journey, and to never forget that we don't know what kinds of challenges and burdens other people are carrying with them. From business, that there really are deadlines in life that you can't ignore, and that hard work in most cases really does pay off. And from the mathematics and sciences, that there is an order to things and a logical method to approaching problems, but also that there is more than one solution to most problems and situations, and that even expert thinking can and does evolve. It is our hope that both the knowledge you have gained over the past 12 years and the skills and competencies that you have strengthened will help you move forward successfully, and that you will make the corner of the world that you occupy a better, kinder, more informed, and more respectful one. If you live like this, you will live successfully. So those are my parting thoughts and hopes for you as soon to be LHS alumni. You are extraordinary young people. We are very proud of you and all that you have worked for and accomplished. It has been my honor to serve as your principal. And on behalf of the faculty and staff of Longmeadow High School, thank you and congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, the president of the class of 2022, Jonah Baresi.
If I knew what to say, I would sing it today. Sometimes it's fine to be at a loss of words, to be quiet and leave the music to the birds. I try to be courageous every day, grow, change, feel, and help in some way, but from my heart to my connections with you, our country and all our world is living through, there's a lot I fail to understand how to say. So I won't be singing today. That's why I thought it'd be good to rap instead. Let's finally put our high school years to bed. Tuck it in and say goodnight. Let that memory take flight as we ascend on our own runways. Take what we feel is closest to us into this maze. Life is at crossways always. We always need to consider the contradictions, make predictions, but predict the unpredicted. How can we live in a world where everything we know is constantly challenged, where facts are not factual, while as humans we are born to stick to our own minds despite the actual? Have fun, laugh, and love, live each moment like we are alive when we are forced to do things we hate in order to survive in this society. This society that is made up of all of you, you beautiful souls charged with potential. Please allow yourself to be moved by the influential, but don't be a fool. La secundaria, LHS, Shkola, high school, isolates a growing mind. Right now, our bubbles are so small. I dare you to explore what is beyond your safe stall. Just take a peek. You may shriek, but I'm sure the experience will be unique, and you'll discover a new knowledge with which to speak. And when our global complications come into discussion, we must keep in mind that we are all frying in the same oven as the people whose oceans are rising, as the children who suffer at our companies enterprising. If Shrek taught us anything, it's that we are all different. But look through that. You are all literate. Be deliberate in not being ignorant. We are all the same. We are all different models of each other. And I'm not talking your mother to your brother. I mean your enemy, the people who work your economy, those who do and do not share your chemistry. But in reality, each one of you are made of the same chemicals as Breonna Taylor, as Mr. Dunkerley, as your cousin, her girlfriend, and their tailor, as the fella living out of his trailer and the kid with an inhaler. When will we realize we are all different people, but we are all people? Why do we feel the authority to attack others when we are also under someone's skin? And you can be angry, sorry to cut in, but it's important to understand frustration is natural. Feelings aren't lateral, they're multidimensional. However, learning to control your thoughts requires learning lots. For instance, you guys have made my head spin. Forced me to question how you can call someone out when you haven't yet called them in. I've never taken a physics class, but I know you can't move things through glass. You, class of 2022, gotta open the door, bring your fellow people inside, take the time to do that instead of brushing them all aside. But then saying we're all the same isn't an excuse. It's a message to make you realize we need to stop the rampant abuse. Take people for who they want to be, not who you want to see. Honestly, it's not super easy, but in fact it's easy to hurt people when you can't feel their pain. We gotta work hard to rethink our brains, not to avoid or look past someone's color or the color of their collar, but consider every cent that makes us a full dollar. And I know some of you care about your big fellas up above, but do us a favor and understand that everyone deserves your love. In this town, as a white, straight, teen, cisgender male, I live in the majority. I gotta acknowledge that minorities face fears of security and authority. I don't. And that specification actually took a while to arise. Which is fine, but everyone has to self-identify. Expose your privilege like a butterfly and educate yourself, because there's a lot left to clarify. It's okay to be afraid in a world you haven't seen with your own eye. In fact, it's good. Everyone experiences pain you couldn't begin to specify, so avoid the urge to fortify. I'm not done, but I just want to take a second to breathe and give you a moment of silence. We've done a lot of fundraisers and events over the years and been very financially productive as a class, so can we take a moment to applaud all your class officers, your teachers, your parents, the administrators, your class advisors, and your class spirit, everyone and anything that's gotten to you to where you are right now. But do you remember that time we decided to donate $1,500? It was a tough decision. On one hand, if we didn't donate it, we missed an opportunity to help. On the other hand, if we did, we lose a handy portion of our hard-earned money that was meant for us. Over the past 4 years, I've come to find that every day you must give and take. Unfortunately, in each there are sacrifices you have to make. But then life's more complicated than a piece of cake. Like, it's important to care for others, but you can't forget about yourself. Take your time, but don't take all the time in mankind. Love yourself, but don't be consumed by yourself. Find a pattern, but know that not everything needs to rhyme. Laugh, but don't forget to cry. Be angry, but remember to love before you question why. However, despite all that, it's important to be wherever you're at, because Jake wouldn't want us to overthink it. Stay real, don't treat life like a trinket, but find what works for you. Life doesn't have to be rocket science if you don't want it to. Learn when to be an avid citizen and when to take the night in. Hobbies can be a job, and happiness should never depend on the need to rob. And if you think it does, then there's more to your kebab. Time to look further down that stick. In short, figure out what makes you tick, and dig in with the precision of a lancer's kick. Because in the end, all that matters is that you find some peace with who you are and where you are. Now, I'm not dumb, and I'm happy to be cliche, except I'm not going to say, hey, walk away, and exit stage with a plie, when I know our scene isn't done until I address you, won't do everything I ask of you today. We all reach conclusions when we feel we are good and ready, but I just felt I needed to give you some direction towards the meatballs in this bowl of spaghetti. 'Cause in heaven we may sing kumbaya, with the freedom of expression, void of aggression, without depression. But we aren't born into heaven. We are born into life. We are good at being bad. We are made to be selfish. We reject ourselves in the face of defeat. This world is unfair. Our world has no morals to abide by, but we do. Katerina Boskovic was smart. She took this to heart. In fact, she sang over Pitbull this fall coming home from an XC meet. Quote, "This is for everybody going through tough times. Believe me, been there, done that. But every day above ground is a great day. Remember that." End quote. I know if I don't sing today, I'll sing tomorrow. We have to believe that every day will not be filled with constant sorrow. The fact we are surprised by terrible events proves hope will arise in the ends of our tragedies. But that doesn't mean believe in fantasies. That emphasizes the need to believe in the possibilities. In the face of our agonies lie the strength of our anatomies. We are built to adapt, to break free when trapped, unleash the power of the untapped. Look at history. Our generation is a freaking mystery. We have determination. We seek innovation. We are more PC than the old guys with a college degree. People are scared what we will do when we enter the world, but the world is here. Here is now. So let's dig our teeth into the ground, rip up the grass, lay down a new foundation, do our best to form a more perfect nation, shoot our dreams sky high, tell Kat and Jake we say hi, but keep our mind on the prize, continue their legacies. You teenagers live in so much doubt of yourselves. When will you realize you are the tools people take off of the shelves? Before our friends died, COVID hit us. We were already being tried. With the lack of social interaction, the electric political reaction, the struggle to gain any traction when the idea of pushing through this world anymore got a little less attractive. But although the pain of life is painfully consistent, we have proven to be continuously resilient. It is time for us to sweat. Get our towels wet. Wring them dry and go for another try. We know we won't walk into a room of genius. We won't magically obtain telekinesis, but we can put two things together. Bring your heart to your head. Take respect door to door and to the bed. Let your physical health remind you of your mental status. Understand our world doesn't like things to be gratis, yet serve your position as a member of this human family and go out of your way to hand out things for free. Gosh, I wish the number of words rhyming with world was a myriad, because before my time starts to dwindle, I need to find a way to say plain and simple, we are going to change the world, period. Now, I don't listen to rap much, and so I'm not exactly sure what this turned into. Nevertheless, I hope I gave you something to help with the life we're going to live through. All in all, just take the time to breathe. You are capable of finding what's underneath Earth's crust, and someone to trust. You don't need kung fu to get past the next field in view. Although, maybe some jujitsu. Go at your own pace. Sing, speak, rap, or yawn, but when everything seems to go wrong, class of 2022, I hope you stay strong. And as you always do, continue to rock on.
Our musical performance will be performed by Monica Whittislaw. Our next musical performance will be by lyrics singers.
Esto les digo. Gathering together in unity provides the space for authentic beauty and magic.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Superintendent O'Shea, Superintendent of Longmeadow Public Schools.
Good afternoon. A short while ago, my speech blew off the stage, but the bad news for all of you is that I retrieved it. So good afternoon. Good afternoon to members of the class of 2022, families and friends, members of the Longmeadow School Committee, administration, faculty, and staff. I often say that the two best days of the academic year are the first day of kindergarten and high school graduation. And though our big Lancers are separated in age from our little Lancers by about 12 or 13 years, there are certainly many parallels between that crisp day in autumn when kindergarten students arrive with oversized backpacks in this warm day in June when our graduates arrive with these oversized squares on their heads. First day of kindergarten and commencement day are joined like bookends. Bookends to the academic year and also bookends in the educational lives of our students and families. To our parents, the first day of kindergarten was likely a moment ago, the blink of an eye. Time has passed with impossible speed. To our graduates, the first day of kindergarten was eons ago, a fuzzy and distant memory at best. And while you as parents and you as graduates may have different perceptions of the years that have passed, I suspect the emotions that you each feel tonight are similar to what you experienced on that first day of kindergarten in 2009. There was joy, pride, maybe some nervousness 13 years ago, and tonight those same emotions are probably competing for your attention. For our graduates, there are many other parallels between that first day of kindergarten and this evening. Both days signify the beginning of a journey. Perhaps when you began this journey, when you first put on that oversized backpack and headed off to kindergarten, you clung to your mom or dad's legs, reluctant or scared. Or maybe your first step came easily, and you bounced eagerly and confidently through the doors of Blueberry, Center School, or Wolf Swamp, maybe high-fiving the principal as you ran by. Similarly, tonight many of you are eager and excited to get your diploma. You are ready for the world of college, career, or the military. You will leave this campus ready to high-five the world and embrace its challenges. Others may be feeling uncertain or unsure about what the future will bring, and that's okay. Just as you met the challenges of kindergarten when you left the comforts of home, I am certain that you will enjoy success and personal growth as you leave another home, the comfort zone of Longmeadow High School. And in the same way that that oversized backpack told the world that you were ready to take on kindergarten, your diploma signifies your readiness to take on the wider world as adults. You have achieved the vision of the graduate. You are ready for the next leg of life's journey. But graduates, before this journey and before School Committee Chair Dr. Kevin Shea awards you a diploma, I have one final assignment for you. I won't collect it. There's no PowerPoint, nothing to read. There won't be a quiz. There won't be a test. But the best thing is that we get to do it here in person rather than virtually over Zoom. So I have to turn back the clock a bit to the year 1997, and that year, Mr. Fred Rogers received a Lifetime Achievement Emmy from the Academy of the Arts and Sciences. Ask your parents or watch the movie Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood starring Tom Hanks, great movie. Anyway, this was Mr. Rogers' moment on stage. He was at the Emmys. All the eyes of the entertainment industry were upon him, like all the eyes of this community are upon you now. He was in the spotlight just as you are in the spotlight. He was the star of the show. You're the star of the show tonight. But rather than basking in the spotlight, he spoke about gratitude. His gratitude for everyone in his entire life who helped him get to that point that evening. The assignment he gave to the audience of movie stars and TV stars is the assignment I want to replicate for you right now, our graduates. So here goes. Graduates, I want you right now to think of 3 people who helped you reach this important moment in your life. Think of 3 people that supported you, loved you, taught you, or encouraged you. Perhaps they are with you tonight, or maybe they live at a distance. Perhaps they are your beloved classmates, Katerina, or Jake, or another departed loved one. Perhaps you will think of a friend, a teacher, a coach, a family member. Well, right now, graduates, I'd like you to think of those 3 individuals. So let's all pause in silence. I think we can spare the time to reflect on the gratitude you have for these 3 important people. Ready, go. I thank you for completing that final lesson on gratitude. I hope you'll carry feelings of gratitude and appreciation throughout your whole life. My gratitude is extended to you. I'm proud to be your superintendent. I'm proud of the resiliency and perseverance and dedication that you've shown during your time here at Longmeadow High School. And now I can certify to Dr. Shea that in fact you have completed your assignments and you are eligible for an LHS diploma. Oh, and extra credit if you express your gratitude to anyone on that list. Class of 22, on behalf of the staff and educators of all of Longmeadow Public Schools, I extend my congratulations and heartfelt best wishes to you for continued success. Good luck and God bless as you start your lives as proud graduates of Longmeadow High School. Congratulations.
I would now like to introduce senior speaker Tina Lee.
Today is a truly bittersweet day. We are here to celebrate the graduation of Longmeadow High School's class of 22. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Tina Lee. I'll be honest, I struggled to think of what to say in this speech. Over the years, there's only so many things you can include in a graduation speech before you automatically begin plagiarizing the thousands of speeches given before. And if there's one thing I've learned from the English department, plagiarism is the start of the pipeline to ending up on the streets. However, words cannot begin to encompass the emotions here today, so I can only do my best to convey what this moment means for us as a class. I'd like to begin by giving a few thank yous on behalf of the class. To our families and parents, thank you for your everlasting support throughout the years. Without your love and reassurance, we would not be here today, literally. Thank you for the money you've spent on us, whether it was for the sports practices, music lessons, or tutoring. And we are sorry to those of you who face our looming college debt. Every one of your actions has proven to us that you will always be our biggest fans. To friends and peers, thank you for being a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear to vent to, and a person to hug. Through these difficult times, we all learn to appreciate one another a little more and hold each other a little tighter. And lastly, to all staff, faculty, and administrators, thank you for giving us the resources to get this far. Your hard work has not gone unrecognized, whether it be cleaning up the messes in the cafeteria that the underclassmen leave behind, or offering a little extra support to us when we need it. We appreciate everything that you have done for us and for believing in all of our successes. I think I can say in confidence that this is the strongest class to graduate from LHS. The obstacles we have overcome to reach this milestone would take me another 30 minutes to describe, so we'll take a brief moment to travel back in time and highlight some of them throughout our journey here. Freshman year. For all my fellow honors English students, we were the last class to be subjected to the assignment of how to read literature like a professor as part of our summer reading. I don't know if anyone remembers a single thing about that book or read it in the first place, but if you're unfamiliar with it, please understand that for many of us, the grade we received on that test was the true source of our rude awakening to high school. In addition, we were the first incoming freshman class to encounter assigned ice rooms. If you haven't experienced room 223 freshman ice, you have not experienced true chaos. Sophomore year. All was well until the EEE outbreak hit us. To this day, I have yet to meet someone who actually contracted the virus or understand what it even is, but apparently, the mosquitoes that year were so deadly that football games had to be moved to as early as 3 p.m. And then, of course, COVID-19. We suddenly found ourselves stuck at home as we sat back and watched our teachers try to figure out how to screen share on Zoom, until one day, we all collectively realized that we didn't have to show up to these meetings and had one less worry for the remainder of the year. Junior year. There isn't really much to say about it, besides that it was clouded in uncertainty, struggles, and loneliness. Personally, I had a terrible experience junior year that I avoid thinking about just as I do with the middle school years. But it also united us against common enemies. Some of us fought for anti-racism work. A lot of us found new random hobbies to satisfy our boredom that we quickly abandoned a month later. And others supported their friends during this challenging year. And lastly, senior year. Your final year of high school is always memorable, but ours was especially. The anxiety and panic that flooded throughout the student body up until the November 1st deadline for college applications quickly transitioned into the famed senioritis. And then, the depression that struck us after we received our decisions worsened this disease, and it continued to spiral downward until about May 1st, when we were forced to decide where and what we'd be doing next year. Not only did we have to pretend to care about the homework assignments given to us, but we had to learn to navigate the LHS parking lot. Speedwalking from my last block class to reach my car so that I could leave before being mowed down by someone going 50 miles an hour humbled me greatly. However, this is not to say that we didn't have some of our fondest memories out of all our years here. We had our first normal football game since freshman year with the wonderful addition of Seven Nation Army as a pep band song. And although tensions rose at times during our 4-hour-long Shrek the Musical rehearsals, I'll never forget the feeling of watching from the pit orchestra as the cast on stage closed the play with I'm a Believer. Lastly, I realized that I did appreciate the mid-chicken tenders served at prom, as by not eating them, we were able to spend more time tearing up the dance floor together. I'd also like to take the time to recognize the loss of our classmates, Jake Pazé and Katerina Boscovich. On behalf of the entire Longmeadow community, we are so incredibly sorry to their families and continue to offer our utmost support. Although words cannot repair your heartbreak, I hope you are comforted by knowing how loved they are. These two individuals were integral members of our class, and their deaths were felt deeply by peers. Yet the support and community I saw as a result of these tragedies was admirable and comforting, and I hope that as we continue to heal, we can take something away from this experience to help us grow a little more. Though we cannot see them, they are here today celebrating with us. They are the sparks of energy you feel in the air, and they are the memories you will carry with you beyond Longmeadow. I've talked a lot about reflection in this speech and some common experiences we had. To take a moment to address my personal experience, during my entire time here at LHS, I gave up a lot of priorities for my academics. Standing here today, not knowing where I'll be tomorrow, but knowing where I was yesterday, I look back and have a lot of regrets, and I implore you to not do the same. I was afraid of failure, both academically and personally, and chose to ignore risks in favor of guaranteed outcomes. Even if it somehow paid off in the end, I cannot get those opportunities back. But today, I've learned, and I'd like to share with you all, that no matter what your plans are next year, you are going to encounter failure at some point. Whether you've experienced it yet or not, you are bound to feel disappointment, frustration, and anger when you don't achieve what you set out to do. It could be a physics test, which I have experienced. It could be realizing you don't fit the major you declared, or it could be not getting a call back from your first job interview. But with these obstacles comes resilience. Failure is inevitable, but so is change. You must adapt and overcome your failures so that you become a stronger and better version of yourself the next day. You can be a failure today, but do something different that allows you to wake up tomorrow morning just a little bit wiser and a little bit better. Accept the faults and imperfections in your life and pursue what you truly love, even if it's different from what you thought it would be. I know not everyone enjoys high school, but if you take something away from your time here at LHS, I hope it was that life and time can never be taken for granted. Live in the moment and be prepared for change. But change should not be unwelcome. Instead, it should be reassuring. It should mean that you're being rerouted on your incredible journey of life to what you're supposed to be doing. Be proud of yourself, and if you don't feel that way yet, work hard to become someone you can be proud of. In my 5th grade graduation speech, I ended my delivery with a Wiz Khalifa reference. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Now, this lyric was appropriate at the time because there was a promise that we would somehow bump into each other again, either in middle or high school. But today, I don't have a new song lyric to recite to you. Whatever journey you choose to embark on after today, I cannot promise that we will cross paths again. And for that reason, I ask that after we receive our diplomas, please take many pictures, give many hugs, and talk to as many people as you can. I am grateful that I got the chance to meet you all in this life, and sincerely hope that you go on to do great things. And for everyone that's half asleep right now, or secretly on their phone, I'll give a SparkNotes summary of everything I just said. You've worked hard, don't give up, do what you love, and good luck. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2022. I'm gonna take a 0.5 photo now, so smile. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Class gift will now be presented by Shrisha Athreya.
The class of 2022 allotted $1,500 towards our class gift. We knew we wanted our gift to commemorate our beloved friends Jake Paze and Katerina Boskovic. When it comes to honoring those we've lost, nothing ever seems to do them justice. But in an effort to remember our class's legacy, and specifically Kat and Jake, we would like to put our $1,500 towards a new sound system for the track and a plaque for the sound booth in honor of them. Kat and Jake were two young, talented athletes that shared a love for music, as well as a love for the stadium that we all fill today. By doing this, we hope that everyone who crosses paths with this track in both big and small ways remembers to love everyone unapologetically, just as our friends did.
Kristen Charles will now introduce our class advisors.
So today, I've received the honor to introduce our class advisors, Mr. Pantusco and Mrs. Moore. But before I do so, I'd like to preface this all with the fact that I can really speak endlessly to the hard work and effort these two have put into our high school experience, and I'm extremely grateful that these two are the pair to be matched up with our class, because the impact that they've had on myself, and I'm sure I could speak to the other class officers in our class as well, it's been really great, and I'm extremely thankful. As someone who's been lucky to have been a class officer for my entire tenure at LHS, I can safely say that our two advisors don't nearly receive enough credit for the numerous hours they put into our class. From our very first apparel sale to the numerous Chipotle nights we shared, and most recently our prom and today. Ms. Frantusco and Mrs. Moore, from the moment I've stepped in the office, has always been great role models, teachers, and people to me. I've truly learned so much from them, and I know my fellow class officers would say the same. I'm extremely grateful for them, the memories and work we shared, as well as all of their contributions to our class. Even during some of their lowest of lows, these two were always here and ready to help us, and it's been nothing but a pleasure working with the two of you the past 4 years. I'm sincerely thankful for you two, and I can speak for the class in saying that for everything, thank you. These past 4 years have been nothing short of amazing, and that's a testament to how hard-working you two have been for us. Let's give a round of applause, everybody. Mr. P and Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Kristen. It is now time for the awarding of the diplomas. As principal of Longmeadow High School, I am pleased to acknowledge that the members of the class of 2022 before you tonight have completed their graduation requirements. In recognition of this fact, I would ask seniors to please move your tassels from right to left. Marshals, will you please direct the seniors as they receive their diploma from Superintendent O'Shea and Mr. Kevin Shea, chairperson of the school committee. I'm going to move this back.
Jonah Halpin Baresi. Peter Maxwell Preston. Odubola Timothy Odutola. Kristen Fritz Charles. Shrisa Lakshmi Athriya. Escorted by her brother Sean, Shay Elizabeth Hamill. Receiving Katarina's diploma today is her brother Maxim. Katarina S. Boskovic. Colin Edward Akis. Zimran Amir Ahmed. Ryan Adam Anderson. Jack Michael Arnold. Maria Atassi.
Jack Robert Aviard. Zoe Isabella Aviard. Carly Elizabeth Baker. Sean Michael Baker. Merrick Shaughnessy Ball. Owen Timothy Bannon. Ella Juliet Barton. Ava Gianna Basile. John W. Batchelor. Elsie Catherine Bennett. Aiden William Bombard. Kaylee Elizabeth Bone. Claudia Elizabeth Park Breed. Olivia Ingrid Brown. Benjamin Paul Bukovich. Katu Chao Bui. Todd Courtney Burns II. Marissa Janelle Burstein. Madeline Grace Busolari. Austin Christopher Butt.
Carlin Elizabeth Byrne. Nicholas Paul Calvanese. Victor James Cara II. Ryan Henry Casagrande. Aiden Michael Cass. Catherine Louise Chase. Vito Giovanni Cochi. Joshua Cole. Emma Olivia Coleman. Celeste Noel Connell. William David Canoyer. William Michael Cawley. Robert Edward Croto. Christopher Alonzo Cummings. Kitty Danielle. Felicia Ann DeSalva. Marco Eric DeBazio. Parker Justin Delgado. Monica Patez de Souza.
Sadie Marceau Diana. Zoe Jane Diaz. Patrick McGinty Din. Mavens Tolentino Dorton. Aiden Michael Duville. Olivia Marie Dubois. Jack Michael Griswold Danansky. Lena Catherine Eves. Francesco Joseph Vicenti. Carl Alvior Fajardo. Kevin Alvior Fajardo. Darby F. Fazio. Chloe Marie Flack. Madeline Elizabeth Ford. Michael Joseph Frieda. Marnie Ray Friedman. Anthony James Fernelli. Gabriella Justine Gauthier. Edgar Reed Gebhardt. E.J. Geyer.
Angela Marie Gentile. Ariel Ruth Gershik. Colin Anthony Goodhines. Catherine Yvette Goodhines. Riley Kate Gordon. Donovan Robert Thomas Gravel. Adam Jacob Green. Kira Evangelos Graywell. Laura Elise Griffiths. Tyler Francis Grodsky. Suchit Gupta. Cole Barrett Haig. Elijah James Hairston. Garrett Edward Hanna. Robbie Bennett Harrington. Matthew Joseph Hardy. Patrick Wallace Hefner. Jacob Andrew Hoffman.
Liam Charles Hunt. George Patrick Hurley. Lillian Rockus Jackson. Vincent Leon James. Ian Roger Jarose. Emily Elizabeth Jari. Madeline Grace Jarvinen. Anya Ruth Shine Jordan. Isadora Ray Jorgensen. Maxwell William Kading. Aiden Joseph Keck. Michael Patrick Corey. Logan Michael Colleen. Nina Bernice Kaniska. Levi Shomer David Kofsky. Konstantinos Andreas Kolias. Elizabeth Maria Kamaisko. Marissa Mia Lalimarmo Craze. Leonardo Domingo Kwasnik.
Alexander Matthew Lamb. Michael Philip Langieri. Brooke Ava Lavalle. Evan Cole Len. Abigail M. Lewis. Jenny Ray Lewis. Tina Lee. David Michael Lindman. Georgia Veronica Lindman. Erin Kate Lobick. Adam Christopher Lowe. Nuk Kitty Luong. Crow McGarren. Nora Claire McDonald. Sophia Teresa Marchese. Samuel Mard. Allie Elizabeth Matz. Nicholas Paul Medeiros. Samantha Jean Mangwasser. Mason Shotwell Merchant.
Shalise Nevea Mills. Julia Marie Miltenberger. Autumn Noel Miranda. Mary Alice Emerson Miranda. Michaela Nora Merkin. Abigail Emily Moreau. Maria Julienne Michal. Kabi Rajendra Mistry. Leah Chinyade Makwa. Sean Kellen Molden. Emmett Zachary Morin. Logan Wallace Morris. Jocelyn Shepard Moss. Catherine Ann Mulcahy. Ryan John Mulderig. Andrew Nam. Tina Teresa Wen. Margaret Kelly O'Connor.
Griffin Patrick O'Shea. Jack William O'Toole. Olivia Cassina Oakley. Charlotte Priscilla Orr. Adeline Marie Osborne. Alessandra Pacella Costello. Julia Capitolo Paquette. Luke Joseph Pasturzik. Samuel Thomas Perry. Samantha Morgan Phillips. Olivia Taylor Poggi. Heidi Jane Pullman. Alexandro Michael Pozzuto. Cameron Norman Provencher. Mary Kate Ethel Quinlan. Allison Ray Ranger. Dylan Hannah Ratner. Robert Michael Ravosa. Joshua Jackson Rayner. Sarah Grace Renola.
Ava Nato Rapucci. Gordon Henry Rhodes. Cooper Robert Rich. Emily Ann Richard. Connor Jeffrey Rintoul. Alexander Michael Rivera. Jasmine Arlene Rivera. Sophia Agnes Robbins. Gianna Elizabeth Roca. Hannah Therese Rooney. Francisco Armando Rosario Rodriguez. Sean Michael Rosemond. Victoria Lee Rossi. Ian Michael Romeliotis. Maeve Elizabeth Ryan. Samuel Philip Santinello. Jonathan Thomas Santorelli. Greta Maeve Sheff. Rachel Lorraine Schwartz.
Laura Marie Scarino. Kathleen De Leon Scott. Megan Elizabeth Seeley. Brooke Lynn Selica. Thank God, Alikplem Set Sophia. Isabel Grace Shafee. George William Sider. Caroline Marie Smith. Brianna Sullivan Steiger. Hayden Drew Steinberg. Lauren Elizabeth Stocks. Madison Bonet Sullivan. Matthew Sean Sullivan. William Michael Swanson. Max Sweeney. Gregory Zygmunt Shellick. Luke Lindstedt Shellick. Wyatt Alexander Talixon.
Faith Chandler Taylor. Daly Jean Therian. Hunter Grant Thor. Lily Kathleen Tracy. Carolyn Drong. Vivian Elizabeth Zitzo. Hannah Keniston Tyler. Lindsay Ann Udell. Erin Nicole Vasu. Giovanni Nikolai Walker. Helena Catherine Warshall. Mason Robert Waterman. Michael Max Weigel. Samuel Robert Weaver. Jacob Walker Weisswasser. Emily Allen Weldon. Jack Everett Williams.
Samuel James Wisnakis. Matthew Douglas Withroder. Monica Agatha Woodeslaw. Carly Ann Woods. Brian Sean Anthony Wright. Jackson Dean Yesu. Alan Raphael Zabalunov. Cami Joe. James Thomas Zicalella. Griffin Henry Ziegler.
How about a round of applause for all of our graduates? Seniors, one last request. As you go through the next few days of celebrating your accomplishments, be sure to thank a parent, grandparent, friend, teacher, or whoever helped you get to this point. To all of you, congratulations on a job well done. Marshals, as the recession begins, would you please lead out our graduates? Thank you and good evening.